The F1 movie is a bit exaggerated, sometimes it's too much fictional, it does not represent Formula 1 as it is, but after watching this movie in the theater in the IMAX version, I loved the F1 movie. My name is Dani Lozano. I am Formula 1 fan more than 20 years. I was creating Formula 1 content, videos, documentaries, edits during more than 11 years in my main YouTube channel, Floss by Dani Lozano. My videos and documentaries as the Silver War, Silver vs Red or the 8th and 1 have reached more than 25 million views on internet, and obviously as a Formula 1 fan, to have the possibility to watch this movie for me was incredible. It's something I thought I will never see in my life. This review have spoilers. If you have not watched the F1 movie but you have intention to do it, don't watch this review. Do it after watching the movie. When you are making a movie, you are trying to attract as much people as possible. That means you have to make a movie about the Formula 1 that has to be able to engage Formula 1 fans and people who have no idea about Formula 1 at the same time. This movie, as it was made, has reached this goal. The F1 movie can be exaggerated or a bit, let's say, unreal in some scenarios that the movie presents, some kind of overtakes that you can see from the protagonist of the movie, but it's for the movie and it's necessary to increase the drama and the action of the movie. If you are racing fan, you know some of the maneuvers, the overtakes that are presented in the movie are not real and cannot happen in real life. You cannot watch during the movie qualifying sessions. It would be nice, to be honest, to represent a qualifying session, the adrenaline, the moment the driver has to go flat out to do one lap as fast as possible. That could be very interesting also for the audience, even for non-Formula 1 fans. One of the things that I really love as a Formula 1 fan is that in this movie are represented a lot of scenarios that happens in real races. For example, crashes, obviously, investigations, polemic maneuvers that has to be investigated, like the final one in Abu Dhabi when Sonny Hayes and I think it's George Russell, I think Sonny passed by the outside to Russell or something like that, and they are investigating the action. Then we have the red flag in the final race where the Sonny can repair his car to go racing for the final 3 laps. Also the teammate rivalry between the old veteran driver that is Sonny Hayes or Brad Pitt and the young talented driver that is much more, aggressive, that is Joshua Pierce. Different teammates with a very different personality and very different age is something you can see in the real Formula 1. Also there are safety cars, tire puncture, even the blue flags when Sonny Hayes sometimes is gonna be lapped and he has to respect the blue flags. Also the strategy, the tires strategy. In some races we can see the plan about tire strategy. Let's use the soft at the beginning, let's use the hard at the end, 1 stop, maybe 2 stops. Racing scenarios that are very, very well introduced in a very basic way to make understand people easy how tire strategy works in Formula 1. It's really, really well reflected in the movie. And at the same time, there are off-track moments or scenarios that are off the track that are well represented, that can happen in Formula 1. For example, this kind of weird questions some journalist does in the press conferences and the driver has to respond, and really, really silly questions that happen in real life. Also, how the family is involved. In the case of Joshua Pierce, how his mom is always with him, try to advise him with the teammate relationship he has with Sonny when he crashes and is in the hospital after the massive crash he has in Italy, and also the pressure for performance. The team, the Apex GP is in a very critical situation in terms of money. They need results. They need to score points. Pressure are put in the team owner and also in the drivers. They have to perform to survive in Formula 1. Are scenarios that happen in real life. That's why I like it. Another point that I love from this F1 movie is how it's represented the team. Some of the racing movies are only focused in the drivers. In this movie, it's also well represented in the team as a whole. From mechanics, from, for example, like one of the girls that fits the tires with the wheel nuts, And at the beginning, she fails sometimes to put the tire in the right moment, and that costs to the team and the driver more time in the pit stops. And she's frustrated because of that, and is improving during the movie, and at the end he do perfect pit stops with the wheel nut. Also the team owner, that is acting by Javier Bardem, that is a Spanish actor, really good. I really love it, how he was in the role of team owner. Also you can see the team principals, the girl that is the team principal that is in the pit wall coordinating the team strategy and everything. And you can see different roles in the movie from different characters, you know, that are beyond the Formula 1 drivers. You know, you can see how a team works even in the weeks that they are not racing in the circuits. You can see how they are improving the car, adding new pieces in the wind tunnel. That is something really important in Formula 1. Testing new pieces, new parts in the computer, in the simulation. The moment the drivers are in the simulator trying to improve the car in the simulator, that's a crucial role also in a Formula 1 team. People in general that are not Formula 1 fans have no idea how much important is the simulator for developing the car in the proper way. Also is represented in that movie, and I love how they have included so many variables and so many elements beyond racing, beyond moments on track, that are super important in Formula 1, and people can realize of that. And I think Lewis Hamilton had a very important role into add all these kind of elements that maybe the directors of the movie have not so much idea. About racing action, the shots of the movie, the scenes, I have to say this is something incredible. Some of the shots with the cameras they have on the cars that are focusing the driver faces that are rotating at the same time to show racing action, how close the cameras are into the racing action where you can see the cars touching each other super close. The crashes also are really spectacular, how they were filmed. The racing action is so intense and it puts to you on track. You really feel that you are with the drivers on track, on the car, on board, sometimes with them. The immersion you can feel during the movie is really, really high. And I think they did a great job. And even happened to me, I watch a lot of racing movies in the past. Also, I'm watching every weekend Formula 1 races. So I'm really, really used to watch racing action, racing shots, racing moments on a screen. But this movie really, really amazed me. I watched some moments that were something unexpected. Great job, guys, to the people who was able to do that, because I really love it. And yeah, feels super racing movie. Music. If you watch the videos I have on the channel where I explain how I was making my documentaries and F1 driver edits, I always explain that the music is mega important in every kind of montage, edit, documentary, movie you will going to make. In this case, the music composer is Hans Zimmer, probably my favorite composer in filmmaking. I love most of his soundtracks. In this film, he did it again. He created soundtracks that fits really well during the whole movie. In the epic moments, I felt goosebumps 2 times. In the intro, with the intro song that the name is F1, when you can see the team in Silverstone running, and with that intro song, wow, I really felt goosebumps. And at the end, in the final scene in Abu Dhabi, when Joshua and Sonny are fighting for the win with Lewis Hamilton in the final laps, it sounds one of the soundtracks that is one of the final soundtracks. I think it's 3 laps or something, the name. Super epic as well. It's always in the right moment, in the right mood of the scene. Classics Hans Zimmer. It's a genius for me. I really want to watch the movie again. And one of the reasons is because of the songs. Really, really good.
Do you think any of them respect us?
Also the sound effects on point. I think in some scenes they could increase a bit more the volume of the engine sounds. That is something really important in racing. But overall, the crashes, the sounds when they touch wheels are super, super realistic, really well made. The story, really good, the storyline, because it's not the classic of a story where at the end of the movie the protagonist is champion, world champion, or something like that. No, the mission of the Apex GP is to score points. They are able to win the last race of the season, but even doing that, it's something no cliche. I mean, at the end, in the final race, they are able to win, but they are not the winners of the championship. They just were able to win a race. You know, it's not so cliche, and this is something that I really like as well. And also, one of the protagonists, Joshua Cross, at the end with Lewis Hamilton. At the end was Sonny, the winner. That should not be the winner, but this is no cliche as well. That's really cool to see in the storyline some unexpected things. It's a positive point for the movie. There are some lines in the story from real Formula 1 drivers and team principals, and this is something I would like to see more during the movie. You can see some lines from Zach Brown, Fred Vasseur is there as well, Toto Wolff, even Lewis Hamilton is in a scene in some moments, but they have no lines. I would like to see some drivers with some lines and some moments when they are interacting with the protagonist of the movie, but this is something not so relevant in the final rating of the movie, because at the end of the day the protagonists are the two Apex GP drivers. But I would like to see a bit more the F1 drivers or team principals involved in this movie. And at the end I have to say that this movie, I was expecting to enjoy it, but not so much, to be honest. It was much better than I thought, and I thought it would be good. As a person that is really involved in this sport and knows a lot about this sport, and at the end of the day I have the feeling of what my followers and subscribers tell me in the comments of my Formula 1 documentaries, that they felt goosebumps, they engaged with my documentaries. A lot of people tell me, thanks to your F1 videos and documentaries, I started to watch Formula 1. I think what they felt watching my documentaries and videos is something similar I felt watching this movie. Now I understand much better to my followers when they watch my videos, and this is super cool. A very good movie. Must watch. It doesn't matter if you are Formula 1 fan or not. It's a very good movie. If you would like to watch my videos and documentaries, I will place a link here where you can go to my website and to watch my work. And here a playlist where I explain how I made these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.